Good morning and welcome to Rosebud Homestead, where we are going to continue working with powdered milk. And this goes directly to food security and emergency preparedness. So we are having a lot of fun with this series of videos that we are doing. We are learning a lot and doing a lot of taste testing. At first, I had several fails because I was still greatly on my learning curve. That has decreased quite a bit. I'm getting the hang of doing cheese using powdered milk. And so let's just check our board and see where we are. On the cultured side, and with culture I mean the addition of a live bacterial culture, we started with yogurt, which we turned into Greek yogurt, which we turned into cream cheese, and then we made yogurt whey ricotta cheese. And this was after a failed attempt at first right in the video. Then I figured out what the problem was after a little research that Jim did, and then we were very successful here, and oh, this is so good. On the curd side, which is not cultured but rather with the addition of acid to form the curds, we did a cream cheese, and we also did ricotta. This ricotta was quite dry. On camera, we did not add any more whey back to it or any cream or any milk. But before I used it, that is exactly what I did. I softened it up just a little bit with the addition of some milk. Today, we're going to be on this side. I'm not sure which order today's video and one that we're going to make in a couple of days will actually be aired. I might be doing the first one last or whatever. But this one is cottage cheese. And it is just great cottage cheese, and it takes like 5 minutes to do, well, maybe 10. But it's very, very easy to do. And that one goes on this side. The other one is going to be sour cream, which we have had a fabulous success with in my tests. And this is going to be cultured, and we're going to be doing it two ways. Both of those recipes will be on the handout that is now posted up on our web page. And here is the address for that web page. Once you get to that page, click recipes, and you will find a list of recipes. And one of those is making cheese from powdered milk V2. V stands for version 2. Now, version 1 is also included in version 2 with the addition of the cottage cheese and the cream cheese. So let's get started with today's project. I'm going to put 2 cups of water in the pot. And I just had to open a new number 10 can. And the recipe for this, and this is 19 years old. We have had this on our food storage shelves for 19 years. It was produced in 04, and that's when we bought it. Now the recipe for this is 3/4 of a cup per quart. Now for this cottage cheese, I am using double that. This is 3/4 of a cup for 2 cups of water instead of a full quart of water. And sometimes with your own, it depends on the brand of powdered milk, you may have to do a little experimenting as well. It took me some experimenting to figure stuff out. All right, we have our flame going, and I'm going to gently stir this milk, and we are going to heat it to just under the boiling point. With powdered milk, sometimes as we mix it up, because we want to make sure that the powder is all hydrated and mixed in with the water, and the heat helps that, but it creates a lot of bubbles, and it's difficult to see when it starts to actually boil. We don't want it to boil. We want to stop it just short of boiling. I also do not want it to scorch on the bottom. I have my thermometer already, and you can either look for the physical signs. There will be boiling, just little tiny bubbles around the edge before it starts its big boil. So that's about where we want to catch it. So I'm going to be guessing, the boiling point of water here is 203, and so I'm going to be watching carefully for when it starts to approach that temperature. Milk may boil at a different temperature here, but I am going to keep stirring until it gets to that point, so that will prevent scorching. So we will come back when the milk has reached the point where we need to turn the heat off. It's 200 degrees right now, The milk needs to be really steamy. Okay, okay, that's it. All right.
I guess.
It's really fast with this flame. It's not as fast over on my electric stove. Okay, the heat is off. And into this cup, I have placed, same cup I used to measure the powdered milk, I've put 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. And I'm just going to kind of drop that around the edges here. Just sort of drip it in. And then I'm going to gently stir. And you can see the yellowish whey start to form. And we're going to let that sit for about 2 minutes. All right, so the next set of instructions say to just pour this directly into the bowl to let the curds separate from the whey, and you see that there's quite a bit of curds there. And we're just going to let this drain for a couple of minutes. Well, not really, just a little bit. And then we're going to take it over to the sink, and we are going to rinse it with hot water. And then with cold water. I'm going to manipulate it just a little bit here. I want to cool it down, the internal parts of these curds. Then we're going to squeeze everything out. All right, I'm going to clear the deck and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, let's open this up and we're just going to dump it right out on this plate. And hardly anything at all was left inside the fabric. And we're going to break this up into cottage cheese. At this point, it is very dry. I am going to now lightly salt it, and I mean just very lightly. And then we want to moisten it, and you can moisten it with whey if you like, or cream or milk. I use full-fat milk. I did a test run on this one, and it worked beautifully, just like this one has. And Jim and I ate every bite of that cottage cheese. It was very good. And then I'm just going to pour until I get the desired liquidiness that I want. Till it starts really looking like cottage cheese. Right now you may be able to hear that it's kind of squeaky, like squeaky cheese. So that milk has been absorbed by the curds. I want a little bit more. Now, what we discovered with our first batch was that I did moisten it like this, and we ate about half of it for supper one night, and then I put it in the refrigerator, and it absorbed every little bit of the milk that was there and needed just a little bit more. So don't be surprised if you might need to moisten this a second time if you eat only part of it in one sitting. Okay, so we have cottage cheese. And most of this second batch of milk was also absorbed, and it's looking pretty good. All right, time for the taste test. I'm going to salt it just a tad more. Clean fork. Lovely. Now, is it identical to the same kind of cottage cheese that you buy in the grocery store? No, but it's very close. The texture is good, the taste is great, and I've used vinegar. You could try lemon juice to see if you like that taste a little bit better. I can't taste any of the vinegar, and I made it with lemon juice and couldn't taste any of the lemon juice either. So either way, it does make a very nice curd, and we have this lovely cottage cheese. This is just more than a cup, and with 2 cups of liquid to produce about a cup of cheese is a pretty good yield. So we're very happy with this, and it is so quick and easy. When it's completely chilled, it ages, well, not ages, but the flavor develops just a little bit more by being in the refrigerator overnight. So by morning, this will be just perfect, and it looks perfect, doesn't it? So with our success right here, we are now going to write cottage cheese over on the curd side. There we go. So this is a great thing to have, the ability, the skill to make this cottage cheese in the event that things go way south and we don't have access to grocery store, but we want our cheeses. This cottage cheese is really a good one to know how to do. So thank you for being with us for this video, and we will see you very soon for more coming up.